How many ways to make woven roses do you know? These woven roses make a great addition for any stitching project, and they are so easy to make. If you are new here, hello, my name is Natalie, and I continue making tutorials for my Big Stitch Along sampler guidebook. It's a soft book I'm making completely from fabric, where each page is a stitch sampler for one stitch or a group of stitches. I designed it for complete beginners, so with each sampler page, you can learn more and more popular embroidery stitches and grow your skills from beginner to advanced level. Every page of this book will serve as a living example of the stitches you have learned. You can refer to those pages when you are going to be planning your own embroidery designs. Just imagine how pleasant it will be to flip through these pages. You will definitely be proud of your results. Check out the video description below for more information about how to get access to those samplers. Woven wheel rose is a big showy stitch that makes a really pretty rose in your stitcheries. I've used these in some of my embroidery projects, but there are lots more ways to use them. Let's start with those little roses. I use all 6 strands of embroidery floss. It makes the flowers quicker to stitch. And I use these pretty multicolored threads from Cosmo Seasons. They will make my roses look natural. I use the biggest needles from this DMC set. Number 3 or 4 is perfect for this amount of floss. First I make 3 simple straight stitches to split the rose into 3 sections. And now I use those stitches to form a wagon wheel look. These stitches won't show, but it's better to use the same color of floss as the rose just in case. I'm weaving the floss over and under the spokes, skipping one spoke and wrapping the floss in a circle to form the rose. Make sure you're keeping all the floss on top of the fabric. I also recommend keeping your wrapping nice and loose so the stitches don't pull the circle too tightly. And when it comes to the moment when it's hard to continue weaving, I like making stem stitch for the last circle. It helps to hide those stitches I made for the weaving, and the rose has a nice finished look. Continue practicing the same technique for the next flower. And look how different and beautiful my roses turned out, and it's just one skein of floss. I'm in love with this brand. For the last little rose, I decided to try weaving with 5 sections. Let's see how it's gonna look. Let's stitch this bigger flower. You can make woven roses in different sizes, by the way. The main rule is that the number of stitches must be odd for continuous weaving. For this size, it's better to use at least 5 sections. I will use 3 plain colors this time to show you how to create a multicolored rose even if you don't have multicolored threads. I will start from lightest shade and I will use 6 strands of floss. Use a blunt tapestry needle when weaving to help keep you from accidentally splitting other threads. See, when you use a different thread color for strokes, they can show up in the center, but I know how to fix it. I will show how later. Now I will switch to a medium shade and I will use 12 strands of floss because I see that for bigger flowers I need more volume. Now I switch to the last color and continue weaving around the spokes until the circle is filled in and I can no longer see any of the spokes. Sometimes my threads become twisted, but it's fine. It can be easily fixed by my needle. You can also use a special laying tool if you want to have a fancy accessory for your work. I left the link in my video description so you could see what I'm talking about. And here is how I will fix the center of my flower. My next flower is going to have 7 sections. First I tried to skip only one spoke as usual, but I didn't like the result. It was too much for the center of the flower, and I decided to redo it. Now I'm skipping 2 spokes and I like it better. And this is how you can switch to 12 strands using the same working thread if you want more volume. You can switch to the back side, make a knot, and return to the front side. Now you can continue stitching with 12 strands. From this moment, I see that the circle became bigger and I can start skipping just 1 spoke. I'm switching to the next color now, but if you want to make a rose with a solid color and you run out of threads as you are weaving, bring the needle to the back, secure it, and bring up a new thread where you left off, continuing to weave as before. And the last color will be this one. I'm back to just 6 strands and I will make only 1 circle of stem stitch. The last flower is different and I think it's the best way to make bigger roses. I'm filling the center of this rose with French knots and I use 3 strands of floss. They are easy to make. You just wrap your needle a few times and put your needle back to the fabric and pull it to the back side. If you are struggling with French knots, I have a big and detailed video tutorial for you. In this video I am showing slowly how to make perfect French knots and how to fix common mistakes. I'm telling you, this is the best tutorial about French knots you can ever find. I highly recommend to watch it. But if you don't like French knots at all, you can replace them with beads and it will also look gorgeous. I think this thread color will be perfect for this rose. But for the weaving I switched to 12 strands and I cut the piece of thread the way it goes from the light purple to the darker shade. The color transition is slow in this skin, which will allow me to make a lot of weaving and create a natural looking flower. By the way, these roses are very loose, so I don't recommend using them on projects that receive a lot of wear or would be laundered. As you can see, these 3 color roses are so easy to make. Let me know in the comments below which of those versions you like the most. Especially, I would love to know if you learned how to make woven roses for the first time with my tutorial. I really love hearing your feedback and insights. It inspires me to make more useful tutorials for you guys. That's it for today's video. I hope you liked this tutorial and it was useful for you. And if you want to stitch this sampler with me, join my stitching club. In my next videos, you will learn how to stitch all the rest volumetric flowers from this sampler. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out my upcoming embroidery videos. If you enjoy watching this, please watch those videos I chose for you, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy stitching!